What's up, guys? It's your boy Vic from Team Kings of Games, baby. Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm one of the newest members of Team Kings of Games, and you guys already know me. Very familiar from seeing a couple of my videos that I've done in Team Kings of Games. I think like only 2 of them. For those who didn't know enough about me already, who haven't already seen my other videos I did when I did True King Dinos, I also did Lost World Dinos as well on the channel. But now I'm playing a different deck. I'm not playing dinos anymore. Now the dinos are extinct. I put them away. Enough about that, guys. Now let's check this deck out that I just made. This is a very consistent build. This is an old school mixed with new school. It's still a rogue deck. It's Cyber Dragons. And I'm gonna bring to you today my Cyber Dragon deck profile. It's of course honorary. 3 Cyber Dragon, 2 Ultras, 1 common. I'm working on getting my 3rd Ultra. Eventually gonna max rate this deck out completely. I'm playing this deck to the best ability that I have because I'm still missing 1 card, to be honest. But it's super fluid for me. Next, the best Cyber Dragon of them all, Core. For those who don't already know, who haven't seen the deck profile from 3 Stacks when he was playing Cyber Dragons, Core is the best. Dupe Scoop, you already know. Cyber Dragon Course, dupe, you dupe it up, go from place from there. It's completely busted after that. Really all you need, of course, like he said before, is Core, machine dupe, and you have crazy boards. You bust boards, OTK, GG. I've had an opponent like straight up scoop as soon as he saw me go Cyber Dragon Core. He couldn't stop it, couldn't nash it, and then else is like machine dupe, couldn't nash it. He was like, hands out, good game. And then my second favorite Cyber Dragon, hers, is your Recycler. He allows you to get Cyber Dragon from grave or deck to your hand. It's always smart to always go from grave. I always like to go for Core, and sometimes I even just go for Cyber Dragon. That way I just keep having fodder in the hand. For Galaxy Soldier, love it. These are secrets, yes. Secrets first ads, beautiful, beautiful. That's all the 3 ofs now. For the 1 ofs that I have, 1 Ver, 1 Altanin, 1 Jizukiru. Freaking busted plays. If you have Altanin in hand, Core and dupe, it's just game. It really is. It's really just game in there. Personally, I like to go Core Search, Cyber Reload, Cyber Overload, and then from there just Altanin them, and just pretty much just proceed with plays with Core, get as many machine fodder as possible. And grave, just keep going with my plays as if I don't have Cyber Overload. And then from there, just pretty much just end up going Cyber Altanin. Just wipe the whole field, And then after Cyber Altanin, everything's all banished. All light machines are banished. I pretty much just banished like literally all the Cyber Dragons. Since there's so many Cyber Dragons in the grave, just go with Cyber Overload and then go into Over Dragon and go for game. And for hand traps, 2 Effect Veiler. I was running 3 Effect Veiler, but I went down to 2 due to the way I'm doing my build. It's a little bit different. Right now, I don't have 3 Ash Blossom. I do have 1 Ash Blossom because I ended up trading 2 of them away for pretty much this whole entire deck. Like everything that I needed to finish the deck the way I wanted to build it. Ghost Ogre and Veiler. If it were my choice, I'd run 3 Ash and 3 Droll and Lockbirds, because Droll and Lockbird, of course, is busted against decks today's format. Decks that consistently search all the time, shuts them down. Ash Blossom, still very useful. Ogre, now Ogre isn't bad, but in today's format, it's an iffy situation depending on the deck you're playing against. Basically, why pop a card when you can negate a special summon, or negate adding to hand, or sending from deck to grave, or just letting them only get one search and then shutting them down completely to where they can't do anything else. And then they're just pretty much just like past her, and you're just like, all right, GG. Right? So that's my monster lineup. 20 monsters. Now proceeding with the spells, of course. You can't play Cyber Dragons without Machine Duplication. 2 of them are rare, 1 of them is common. I'm working on trying to get supers, but at the moment I just have no way of getting supers, so figuring out where I go from there. But Machine Duplication, if you open up with hers or a core, the best play to go with though is with core, personally, because core you get your search for a spell trap, cyber spell trap, and then go into dupe and then proceed from there, right? But if you do hers, it's not a bad idea either, because it is optional, because he's still a Cyber Dragon when on field or on grave. But just prefer to go with core. You open up with Machine Dupe and core, it's pretty much game. Your opponent just pretty much puts out their hand like, good game. 2 Cyber Emergency. I really need a third one, but even though I have 2, it doesn't hurt with the way I designed this deck. It's still very fluid. I have a lot of 2 spells, so it's like you don't run into anything too much. Once I get the third one, I'm going to take out the Ogre, most likely, and proceed from there. But the deck is still very fluid though. So, and then 2 Cyber Repair Plants. Love Cyber Repair Plant. You open up Cyber Emergency, Cyber Repair Plant, Cyber Dragon Core, and Machine Dupe. That's game. That really is. It's just complete game. Your opponent just has nothing. They can ash the core all they want. You just still go with plays. It doesn't matter. You know, it's pretty funny. 2 Cyber Rev Systems, the Monster Reborn of the deck. Let me tell you something. This card's busted. I almost thought about playing 3, but at the same time, you don't want to open up with too many Cyber Rev Systems. If you open up with 1 Cyber Rev System, that doesn't hurt. You know. And you always want one for at least late game. It's still good too. This is what I do different. I play 2 Overload Fusions and 2 Power Bonds. This deck is basically, I designed this deck to break your board completely, whether I L10 in your board away, or whether I Kaju, your boss monster, and a Khmer Tech, Mega Fleet, your monsters away, and then go from there and just bust everything all up. But yeah. This is definitely OTK style. This is, you make your board, I go in second, I'm gonna OTK you completely. There's nothing you can do about it. 1 Cyberload Fusion. That's why I play 2 Overload Fusions, because if you Overload Fusion and then you have Cyberload Fusion, then you can Cyberload Fusion also, and then go from there. You know, it's pretty busted. It gives you, the 2 Overload Fusions gives you the option to be able to do that play, because Cyberload Fusion is searchable, Overload Fusion is not. So let me tell you something. I made busted plays. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 for 1, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Pot of Desires, 1 Upstart. Reason Pot of Desires and Upstart Goblin is because this deck does not, even though I search a lot, it doesn't have draw power. Upstart Goblin and Pot of Desires gives you the option to have that draw power. Now, as long as you have core in your hand, it's okay to go for your Pot of Desires afterwards, but I always make my plays first, and then pretty much just, if I want to, just main phase 2 Pot of Desires, make sure I draw 2 cards if I'm not able to OTK you, and then go from there. Because as long as I have all the key components first, then it's okay to Pot of Desires. You know, at the same time, Pot of Desires is a iffy situation, but the good thing is you play 3 Cyber Dragons, 3 Cyber Dragon Cores, 3 Hers, 3 Galaxy Soldiers, you know, so, and then you're still able to make plays from there as long as you have at least one of those pieces. And last but not least, I play 2 Cybernetic Overflows. This card is busted. I freaking love it. I played against both of my brothers. They were both doing a Dark Goki, and I let them go first. They made all their plays. I ashed them, Effect Veiled them, and they were just like, they made the most busted board that they could, and they were like, pass turn. They set 3 back rows because it was like a PK Dark Goki. Fake, but still, I love it. Now for my extra deck, Link Kuriboh, Cleaver Genius, Cyber Dragon Seeger. Seeger is busted. Cleaver Genius, if you can play him right, he's completely busted still. I love the fact that you could just basically, you know, shut off the effects of one monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. I've done it where I've been like special summon Cyber Dragon, and then I made Cleaver Genius afterwards, and Cyber Dragon was still in field, and then I was just like Cleaver Genius effect, targeting your monster, targeting Cyber Dragon. They're like, what? Why would you target Cyber Dragon? I said, see, he's still an effect monster, even though after you special summon him, he basically has no effects, but he's still an effect monster, so you could just negate his effect. Proceed from there. Continuing on, summon sorcerers. Yo, let me tell you something. She is busted. I love summon sorcerers, without a doubt. She's just so fun to play with. Nightmare Griffin. You could do the Nightmare Griffin lock. I've done it where you just set overflow again, or just even decide to be like, you know what, I'm just going to set a Cyber Emergency. That way I can use Cyber Emergency next turn because I don't have it in my hand this time. I don't feel like using Core to search for a Cyber Emergency when I could just use Griffin's effect just to set Cyber Emergency, and then you use Core's effect next turn when you do get your turn again, just to basically search a different card. Like you could search for a Rev System or Cybernetic Overload, you know, and then just go to use the Cyber Emergency next turn, flip it, play it, get your search, and then use Core's effect to search for a Cybernetic Overload or whatever you want to search. That way you can keep going with plays from there, or even just like I said, just do Cybernetic Overload flow, which is the best play you can probably make, honestly. That way you can interact on your opponent's turn after you do the Griffin. That's all the Link monsters I have. That's only 5 Link monsters. I did have Borload in here before, but I decided to take Borload out because I decided to play other cards in my deck, extra deck instead, and I feel like they were the better choices to make. Because basically I was just basically trying to do it where I just basically keep taking my opponent's monsters or wipe out my monsters casually, but my opponent's monsters are a ton in my opponent's field just to bust the board. But you know, you can go from different plays. You know, just remember that, you know, no matter how you make your deck, you always want to make your deck to your play style. You know, I don't net deck. I make my deck from scratch. You know, like I constantly play it over and over and over again, take out cards, put in cards. You know, go from there. You know, that's the unique thing about most of the team members in Team Kings of Games is, you know, you see Cool's deck profiles. Cool's got some pretty busted oddball decks, but you know, they work for him though. You know, he actually makes them work. A lot of people always say, you know, this is too bricky, this, that, and third, but you know what? In the end, it really doesn't matter if it's bricky or not, as long as it works for the person, you know. That's really honestly what matters. 2 Cyber Dragon Novas. You can't play a Cyber Dragon deck without Nova or Infinity. Honestly, my opinion, best boss monsters in the game. Completely busted. I love Infinity and Nova. Cyber Dragons, period, I love, to be honest. I love Dinos, but Cyber Dragons always had that love for me, you know. 2 Rampage. That's why I play 2 Overload Fusion and 2 Power Bond, mainly because of Rampage. That way you can OTK your opponent from there, you know. It never hurts. Fortress Dragon, just in case you kaiju your opponent's monster. You just snatch that, contact that kaiju away for Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon and go from there. OTK your opponent. This is what I'm doing that's different than everybody else's Cyber Dragon builds, you know. They're not playing Over Dragon. Over Dragon's completely busted, just like I said. If you go with the core L-Tannen play, bust your opponent's whole board up. L-Tannen their field away. You banished all your Cyber Dragon monsters, and then from there you can Overload Fusion. Not Overload Fusion, Cybernetic Overload all your banished Cyber Dragon monsters and make a huge giant beat stick where you can attack like 8 times and it's already game by the time you attack twice. Why not make those plays? It doesn't hurt. Especially since it gains 800 tech for each monster that's used for the fusion summon of this card. Busted. Busted. Plus it attacks that many times for the contact, the amount of fusions. Because it's Cyber Dragon plus machine type monsters. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt. And then last but not least, 2 Premier Tech Mega Fleet Dragon, because Premier Tech Mega Fleet Dragon is one of the most busted cards. Use one of your opponent's extra zone monsters. Why not? I'd do it. But side deck, 2 Pankratops. In my opinion, I'd only play 2. Pankratops is busted. You always want to pop your opponent's floodgates or back row or even monsters. Proceed with battle, attack, and then just go from there. Main phase 2, Pankratops, pop a card, whatever you want to do, you know, or battle, and then after you conclude that battle step with Pankratops, you're still in your battle phase. You could always use quick effect, pop this card, pop your opponent's card, and then proceed with battle with your other cards. 2 Inspector Border. I can't find my 3rd, but Inspector Border is searchable in this deck, which makes him completely busted. You know, it never hurts to shut down your opponent's effects and attack over your opponent's monsters. Most decks can't even play after Inspector Border hits field. 3 Call by the Grave, because you don't want to get ashed. You don't want Core to get ashed. You don't want to get Droll and Lockbirded. You don't want anything to happen to you. You don't want to get Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, even though we got Cybernetic Overload. But still, if you don't have Cybernetic Overload, that could still kind of hurt a little bit. But, hey, that's why I played 3 Call by. 3 Twin Twisters. I hate back row. I hate back row. And I hate back row. I hate Ultrageist. I hate stun decks. I've always hated all those decks. Oh my gosh. It's not fun when you're playing against a stun deck and you're not able to shut them down. Anyways, guys, this is Victor from Team Kings Games. Hope you guys all have a good day. And this is my deck profile, Cyber Dragons. Feel free to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to Team Kings Games already, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell and you want to stay updated with Team Kings Games content. We all have nothing but fresh content. All of our deck profiles are not like anyone else's ever. If you haven't seen Cool's deck profile of the Invoked Cubics, please feel free to go down in the videos. Check it out. Anyways, guys, this is Victor from Team Kings Games, and you know what I say? Peace.